Well, JT, we finally get to talk to you about the touchdown. What was that like for a defensive tackle to be able to put it in the end zone?
Man, it was amazing. It was a shocking moment. I didn't know it was going to come to me, but it happened that fast, and it's amazing.
First touchdown ever?
Yeah, first touchdown ever.
It seemed like
college football.
it seems like as the play developed, it was very quick. It wasn't like the ball was in there hanging up for you to get it. You had to make a really quick decision. What was kind of going through your mind when that play happened?
Man, really, I don't remember what was going on in my mind at the time, but I was just shocked that he threw it my way and it landed in my hand. So I had to take advantage of it, and I knew when I got the ball, I just had to run. So I just started running.
What was that feeling like as you're running? We saw you for a moment. You kind of put the ball out, and then you're like, "Oh, I better hold on to this." What was that kind of like running?
I was running. I had the ball out, and I remember I just kind of imagined Coach Harson's, face being mad at me, ball security. So I put it right back in there, and I had to hold it tight.
So during the run, you pictured Coach Harson's face.
Yes. I was scared I was going to get yelled at when I come on the sidelines.
I thought you were going to start high stepping or something.
No.
When did you see the ball? I mean, did you catch that out of your peripheral? Because John's actually threw that, and he was almost backwards.
Right. Well, what happened? I jumped up because I thought he was going to throw it my way. Mm-hmm. Then I seen he still had the ball in his hand, and Kamale got to him. So I just kind of moved the offensive lineman, and then I seen the ball in the air, and it was coming my way. And I was like, oh, damn, it's coming my way. Mm-hmm. So it landed in my hand.
What was more, honestly, what was more important, the pick six or the momentum that you guys set 14 seconds into the game that you never seemed to relinquish from that?
I feel like momentum, it changed everything around, starting fast. And that's what Harson was about that way.
Aside from thinking about Coach Harson getting mad at you, as you're running, what was kind of going through your mind? Just the fact that you were going to get in the end zone, and then when you got in there, what was that moment like for you?
I was like, man, I scored a touchdown. A big man scored a touchdown, and it was an amazing feeling. I just can't explain it.
Didn't you say back in the day that you did play a little bit of running back at some point?
Yeah.
So the instincts just take over, or
I don't know. It just happened so fast.
With what was the post game reaction like? From your teammates or friends or all that stuff. They had a lot. You probably had to get a lot of good feedback.
No, they was just like, man, big man can run. And I was like, it's whatever. It happened fast. I'm glad it was 22 yards and it was 100 yards where I had to run it out. So I had enough time to kind of recover from that run.
When you were watching games and stuff on Saturday, I'm sure maybe they replayed your play a little bit. Did you see it on ESPN or anything like that? Or?
I didn't. I didn't get a chance to watch it on ESPN.
How do you kind of feel like you're evolving as a football player? You're kind of around some big plays in the BYU game, and it seems like you're certainly on the field quite a bit this year. You make a big play against Virginia. How do you feel like you're kind of evolving and becoming a playmaker from that interior position?
I feel like I'm getting better every week, but there's always room for improvements. So it's just the fact of showing up and doing your job. That's what it comes down to.
Did you have any family members that when you told them you scored, they didn't believe you? Or?
My mom didn't believe me at first. She was saying I was too big to run. And, she was shocked that I got that.
So she didn't see the game then? You had to tell her about it? Or?
But she heard about it. She didn't see the game, but she heard about it. Yeah.
How impressive has what you guys been able to do against the run been this year? You're number one in the country in terms of yards allowed.
It comes down to everybody doing their job, and we take pride in our job, each position, and that's what it comes down to, taking pride in what you do.
Have you guys, Yates continues to kind of say, it just takes one game or a couple of plays for that to change, but that hasn't happened so far. So how have you guys been able to find that consistency this year?
It comes down to doing your job. Everybody, taking pride in what they do, like me staying in my gap, and that's a big thing for the defense. If everybody could do their job, the play would develop better, and everybody would make plays.
Hawaii historically has really big offensive lines. Are they big this year? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, they're. I don't know too much. Going in this week, I'll find out from the coaches. But I know they're a good team, and they're a better team than where they was last year, and I respect them for that. So we just got to have a good week of preparation and just go out and execute.
You mentioned the pride. Marcel was saying that now that you guys are number one, there is something to that. You want to stay number one, and now it's kind of it really is a big pride thing. As far as being number one in the country, stopping the run, is that a cool deal, or do you guys realize that and take pride in that? Or?
We don't focus on being out there like that, but like I said, it's just doing our own job, and then everything will take care of itself.
How much confidence do you guys take? The first 3 out of the first 4 games you guys open up against some pretty talented FBS opponents. How much does that help your momentum as you spring forward into chasing your ultimate goal, a Mountain West title?
I mean, I don't think anything has changed. You know, it's the same mindset we had, right after the Fiesta Bowl and the spring ball and then into fall camp. And as a defense, we work on being consistent every week. So I feel like when we do that, focus on us, everything will take care of itself.
I know the mindset's kind of want to know every week, but now that you start conference play, you kind of turn the page to a new season almost. I mean, have you kind of, do you refocus a little? Do the coaches mention? I mean, now you kind of start conference play. Is that a big deal to you guys?
Yes, it's a big deal, for us, starting this conference game against Hawaii, and we're expecting to have a big crowd out there to help support us and get this win. But like I said, it comes down to us doing what we got to do and not worrying about what's going on out there.
Everybody talks about the big bowl games and all that, but how big of a deal is the conference title to you guys?
It's a big deal. We want to be 1-0 every week, so it's big to us.
Do you have any friends over on that team?
Yeah, I know a few guys, but not too many.
What's it like lining up on next to Armand on the interior for so much of fall camp? You were either filling in for him or maybe you guys were kind of jockeying for that starting role. And I know it's been a few weeks since you have been obviously starting next to him, but what's it like lining up next to him? Because you guys have been pretty good together, obviously.
Right. I mean, I love playing next to him because I know he's doing his job, and I'm more focused on me doing my job. And then to my other side, there's Kamale, and I know he's doing his job. So it's really everything on me. I got to do my job because I can trust those guys next to me.
What do the linebackers and even the safeties, for that matter, bring to those rush defense numbers as well?
Oh, they play really physical. They come downhill and really try to help us with the run. It's a team thing. It's a team effort. So.
That depth behind you, what have you seen from Derek Bowles this season?
Oh, he's a great young guy. He has energy. He's smart. Every time he's willing to learn, so he's coachable, and that's what I like about him. I always try to tell him, just listen to the coach, listen to us. You don't have to say anything, from a new guy coming in. But we really were trying to help him out because we know he could be a good player, later on in the future.
Doing some on Jeremy and his ability to get in the end zone and the red zone, and I assume you faced him a ton in fall camp in those situations. What makes him difficult down in the down around the goal line?
You mean Jeremy?
Yeah, McNichols trying to stop him down around the goal line.
Jeremy's just Jeremy. He has a nose for the end zone, and he does what he has to do, and we respect him for that.
As a defensive lineman, what are you looking at in those situations when you get teams down around the 2-3 yard line? What are you keying on at that point?
It's really about penetrate the line of scrimmage, and we want to control that. So we got to have a relentless mindset. So that's what our goal is to stop the run and just to penetrate that line of scrimmage. Because if we can control it, it'll be better for our secondary. So.
Is there a different intensity when you get down there? I mean, everybody kind of ramp it up a little bit?
That's a different world because you got to be a man right there in the goal line. So it's a different mindset, yeah.
Get back to Derek really quick. I mean, he's kind of the youngster of that group too. I mean, you got a lot of experience, especially on the inside. So, what kind of dynamic is there? Is he kind of like the little brother of the group or anything like that? Just because he's kind of the younger guy out there.
Yeah, he's a young guy, but we're getting better every week, and we're still teaching him, and he's learning a lot. He's catching on quick, so I give it to him for that.
When at that age, I mean,